Hello and welcome to Inspired Caregiver. My name is Michelle. I created this podcast because I was the primary family caregiver for both of my grandmothers for a collective 7 years, which meant I handled everything from car keys to managing their households, dealing with all this stuff, and then ultimately end-of-life care. And I've worked in senior living as a result of that experience for over 7 years. So this podcast is designed to share with you insights, tips, tricks, and inspiration through those experiences, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Inspired Caregiver. Hello, caregivers. How are you doing today? Today, I want to share with you about shifting our mindset around aging. It's a mindset reset on aging. I work in a place with a lot of people that are very, very ill. They're recovering from surgeries, catastrophic events, and really the oldest of old. And it can start to feel confusing as to what is normal aging and what isn't. And as caregivers, when we're around people who are constantly needing our assistance, and they're battling their own chronic illnesses and their own mindsets, it can start to chip away at our own desire to get older, especially when we feel like we don't have time to take care of ourselves. I am constantly speaking right now with people in their 40s and 50s who are increasingly nervous and discouraged about getting older. It's a little undercurrent that starts, late 30s, early 40s. Oh, I'm getting old, too old for this. It's like we're on this slow IV drip of cultural mind drama about something that is inevitable. And I find it to be very incredibly bizarre. So I just wanted to share with you a few things today. Most specifically, there is a lot of research that shows us how we age is largely determined by the daily choices that we're making right now. The only thing that is inevitable about aging is that you're going to age. It's happening, right? Every day we wake up and we are getting a little bit older. So your DNA is not the primary determinant of how well you're going to age. And actually, the cards that you've been dealt with your genome, it's a pretty small percentage of how to predict your aging outcomes. It is your lifestyle that is going to determine what cells are turned off or on in your body. My grandmothers both lived well into their 90s. Both of them remained active, engaged in the community, lived independently for a very, very long time, spent time with family, friends. So I have really great DNA, but if I sit alone in my house, binge watching Netflix, noshing on DoorDash, it does not matter how stellar my DNA is. I am not setting myself up for very good outcomes. Worrying is not planning. I'm going to say that again. Worrying about something that may or may not happen is not planning. So just making the statement, I'm not going to get old, actually is not going to work. Aging is not something to dread. It is not something to fight or resist or fear. Because as things change, we know we will need to pivot and adjust, but that doesn't mean that we are giving in or giving up. So fighting with each change or setback is just going to sink us. And actually, there's a whole chapter on this in the conscious aging class that I facilitate on navigating acceptance and shifting our mindset from woe is me to focusing on what is working, because energy flows where your focus goes. So instead of worrying about something that's inevitable, we need to be focused on planning for what it is we want and how we want to do it. So just because you are caring for someone with dementia does not mean that you will get dementia. Just because you are caregiving for someone that has battled cancer, has diabetes, or is pre-diabetic does not mean that that will be your journey. There are a lot of healthy aging adults all around us. There are even sections of the world called blue zones that have the most people that are 100 years old or older, and many of them are living independently. Studies are showing us that it is lifestyle choices that contribute to a healthy old age. So, according to the CDC, the top chronic diseases are heart disease, cancer, diabetes. Also, according to the CDC, the best way to prevent chronic disease is to avoid excessive alcohol, to exercise, and don't smoke. So, these are all lifestyle choices based on decisions that you're making every single day. I actually read a study recently that said if you move your body even just 20 minutes, 3 days a week, you will be provided massive health benefits. And then it's also the little things that add up, like parking farther from the entrance to a store, taking the stairs every time you can, sitting on the floor, yes, voluntarily, sitting on the floor and then standing up from that position. All of those things can add up to really positive health benefits. If you're looking around at your life and you don't have any aging mentors or role models, like you're looking around and you cannot see anybody who you feel is aging well, I am going to offer you up mine right now. So I have 3 parental units. My mother, 75, is 75. She takes no medicine, zero, no pills, none. She works out with a trainer twice a week. She cooks healthy meals, walks on a treadmill daily, and which all keeps her body frame a healthy weight. She continues to stay engaged with friends and family. She started a blog on senior minimalism and also writes book reviews that she posts on the blog and shares recipes. By the way, that's Curious Senior, the Curious Senior. Check it out. She actually built the website herself. She is currently writing a book. She also has my grandmother's DNA, but she's not just sitting around hoping that that will give her the aging outcomes she wants. She's actively participating in her life. My father is 80 years old, and during the 2020 election, he was the moderator for the League of Women Voters candidate forums. In 2019, he was contracted to work for the Census Bureau, traveling around the country, training census workers on how to collect census in low economic areas. Over the course of the pandemic, he taught 400 people in his senior living community how to use Zoom. And that Census Bureau work he did in 2019, helping nonprofit agencies to encourage people to participate in the census, led to a new gig of helping nonprofit agencies nationwide understand how redistricting will take place in each of the 50 states and what the nonprofits can do to create fair election districts. Right? This is not just holding sick babies at the hospital, which is also valuable and important, but there are definitely other options out there for us. So my stepmother, also in her 70s, hikes regularly with a group of women that span from their 70s well into their 80s. They plan and complete these advanced hikes in Northern California. She continues to be a practicing psychologist, meeting her clients on Zoom, was voted onto the resident council, dominates the bocce pit, travels abroad, eats healthy, cooks, and has well-balanced meals. I want to encourage you to remember it is not just your DNA that is handed down. What is also handed down are your thoughts and belief systems that have been shared with you. Thoughts about how things are, how things should be, and what is possible. All those things influence us. And even now, as a caregiver, there are little choices that you can be making to set yourself up for success. It seems simple, but just drinking water, drinking water. Your pee should practically be clear. That's how you know if you're drinking enough water. Even just marching in place to move your body, staying connected with other people. That is going to help you age well. Our world shrinks as caregivers. We get pretty isolated. So stay connected with people. Do not give in and don't give up. The bottom line is either way, we are all getting older every single day. So it's okay to stop being annoyed with ourselves about it and to embrace it and enjoy it. I hope you found this hopeful and inspiring about what is possible for us as we age. And remember that I see you and I hear you, and you are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. I love you, and I look forward to being with you next week. Have a good one.